Hello and welcome back to my channel, The Future Empress. My name is Anna and today I'm gonna do the end of the year book tag. So this tag was created by Ariel Bissett on YouTube. I'm not sure, I couldn't find the original video. However, I'm gonna link her 2019 video down below along with the questions if you're interested. So this tag is basically just to sum up your reading plans for the rest of the year, to discuss the books you haven't finished yet, the books you want to finish and all that jazz. So let's just get into the questions. The first question is, are there any books that you started this year that you still need to finish? And my answer is yes. Yes, I do. I have a lot of books that I'm currently reading, but these are actually divided up into two categories because I decided to count all the books that I also started last year. I'm still technically currently reading them because I'm still avidly interested and always meaning to pick them up again. And those books are these three. The book that I've been currently reading for the longest is Queen of Air and Darkness by Cassandra Clare. So if I don't finish it this year, it will be 2 years since I started reading this. And I can't let that happen because I started it in the beginning of 2019 actually, because it came out in December 2018 and I picked it up like in February of 2019. So I really have to finish this one because I've been currently reading this for way too long. I'm about 250 pages in and you can see I've been enjoying it because I've been tapping, but because I've been tapping so much, it's been taking me longer to get through, but I just need to put a week off or something where I focus on getting through this book and finishing it. So I can continue on with the series because there's a lot of new books that are out that I'm interested in, but I don't want to pick them up before I finish this one because I read her books in publication order. The next book is The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde and Other Stories. So the thing about this one is that I finished The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde and then I wanted to take a break before continuing on with the other short stories. However, I never did, I never picked it up again, and yeah, I don't know why I haven't finished this. Maybe because I was only interested in Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde and not the other stories in it. The next book is a book that I picked up back in November because there was a couple of booktubers that were doing a readathon for the Raven Boys. So I read the Raven Boys in October with them, and then I picked up The Dream Thieves by Maggie Stiefvater in November to read with them, but I didn't finish it in November and then I was focusing on reading Christmas books in December and then I went to South Korea, so I wasn't able to pick this one up again. I think I got to the 100-page mark originally. However, in the beginning of November I actually started listening to the audiobook of the first bit that I had read before and then resumed reading it physically when I had gotten to the part where I read originally, and I am almost halfway through now, so hopefully I will finish this one before the end of the year. The next three books is books that I picked up in 2020 and haven't finished yet, and those are these three. So we have The Giver by Louise Lowry, we have The Son of Neptune by Rick Riordan, and then The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. So The Giver I borrowed from the library. I was reading this before the start of the Stranger Things readathon, and because the Stranger Things readathon started, I couldn't read this because it didn't fit any prompts, so I put it aside, and now I just need to finish it because I have to return this copy soon. And also the same case with The Son of Neptune by Rick Riordan. I picked this one up right before the Stranger Things readathon. I'm not even I think I'm just a couple of pages in. I want to finish this one before the end of the year as well. And then we have The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I had this on my TBR for the Stranger Things readathon. However, I started it and got 70 pages in, but I hadn't time to finish it before the end of the readathon. So technically I never put this down. Don't know why, but I read a lot of books at the same time. This is a reread, so I will get through this quickly. And those were all the books that I'm currently reading, except I'm also reading Grown. I'm listening to that one on audiobook. However, I'm anticipating finishing that one when I post this video. The next question is, do you have an autumnal book to transition into the end of the year? And it's a book that I already talked about, because I think The Dream Thieves is such a good book to transition into the end of the year, because it has those fall vibes, but it's also just such a atmospheric and, for me, wintry book. So I feel like The Raven Boys are such a perfect series to read during fall and winter and maybe into spring. You can read them whenever you want, because right now, with the season that is set in The Dream Thieves, is actually either spring or summer, because it's getting hot and it's very hot in the book. However, for me personally, I feel like it's a very autumnal book, and it's a perfect book to transition into the end of the year with. I'm very glad that I decided to pick it up again. Is there a new release that you're still waiting for? Technically, I don't have a lot of new releases that I'm anticipating at the end of the year. However, I have two big ones. One, I'm anticipating it. However, I haven't read the other books in the series before it. And that is The Nobleman's Guide to Shipwrecks and something else. I don't quite remember the title. But I'm very excited for this book. However, I won't be able to read it before I read The Lady's Guide to Petticoats and Piracy, which I will soon. I probably won't do it before the end of the year, so I'm just excited for this book's release. However, I won't be picking it up. But the next book I want to talk about is Instant Karma by Marissa Meyer. I'm a big fan of Marissa Meyer's book, and the fact that she is writing contemporary, or it's kind of magical realism, contemporary-esque, intrigues me how she's gonna tackle that genre, and I'm very excited for this book. I don't remember when it's coming out, but I'm gonna put it on here. The next question is, what are 3 books you want to read before the end of the year? I have 2 different books to talk about. I have a library loan, I have a sequel, and an audiobook. The first book that I want to finish before the end of the year is Nevermore: The Trials of Morgan Crow by Jessica Townsend. This is the pick for the Magical Girl Society book club for November. So we're all reading this one this month, and I want to finish it before the end of the month, of course, so I will be able to join the live show discussion. And I've heard so good things about this book that I'm so excited to get into it, and I hope it will live up to its hype. So the sequel that I want to finish before the end of the year is actually Blood and Honey by Shelby Mahurin. This is the sequel to Serpent and Dove, which came out last year and was very hyped up here on BookTube. However, I haven't heard people talk that much about the sequel, which came out in September, I believe. I got the Fairy Loot edition recently, and I am so excited to read this book. The third book is Even If We Break by Marieke Niekamp. I believe that's how you pronounce it. I am like 10% sure, because I butchered that name. I am very excited to read this book because it's a mystery thriller kind of book, but YA, and it just seems so fascinating, and it's horror too, I believe. Yes, it's horror. I just looked it up on Goodreads, and it's LGBTQI+ and queer also, so it's just a book that really intrigues me and I'm so interested in, and I saw that Script had it as an audiobook on their site, so I'm definitely gonna try to read this book before the end of the year. Is there a book you think could still shock you and become your favorite book of the year? So my pick for this one requires a bit of a backstory. So my pick is The Son of Neptune by Rick Riordan. This is the sequel to the Heroes of Olympus series. The reason I feel like this book could shock me is because I read Percy Jackson series and I enjoyed them, but they weren't my favorites. And the first book, The Lost Hero, really intrigued me because of the new character, because of Jason. This is like an unpopular opinion, but I don't like Percy as a character that much. So I have heard this follows Percy, and that's why I don't have that many high hopes about it, because I think maybe I like Just Jason better. However, I know it's set in a different kind of camp, so maybe this will surprise me and end up being one of my favorites this year. And the last question is, have you already started making plans for 2021? And technically, reading? No, I haven't started making any reading plans for the year of 2021, other than I have some video ideas where I have a couple of secret TBRs for, but other than that, I haven't really been planning what I'm gonna read in 2021 or what I'm gonna focus on. I haven't really thought about that. Mostly just video ideas and what to read for videos. But yeah, that was the end of the year tag and all the questions. I hope you enjoyed this video and thank you so much for watching. And have a great day. Bye!